This is Alex Eala's moment. Our dinners, our evenings are fixated when she's playing. That's real tennis fan.
Alex Eala arrives in Washington, D.C. for the $1.06 million WTA 500 DC Open, and the atmosphere outside the William H.G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center already feels different. The air is filled with excitement as fans gather along the fences waving red, white, and blue flags, not the American flag, but the Philippine flag with its 3 stars and sun. Just 72 hours after walking off center court at Wimbledon in tears following her defeat to Jasmine Paolini, Eala didn't head home. Instead, she boarded a plane and turned her focus to the next challenge. Waiting for her on July 27th is one of the strongest and deepest fields the DC Open has assembled in years. And if you've been following Alex Eala's incredible journey from her breakthrough run in Miami to her performances in Madrid and Berlin, you already know this is the place where passionate Filipino tennis fans come together to follow every step of her rise. Subscribe and join our growing community of tennis fans as we break down why Alex Eala's arrival in Washington could be one of the biggest moments of her season. Rewind just 4 days to July 6th at Wimbledon. In the round of 16, Eala fell to Jasmine Paolini in a hard-fought match, but her historic run carried her farther than any Filipina has ever reached in a Grand Slam singles event during the Open era. As she walked off center court, the crowd rose to its feet in a standing ovation, a moment that captured just how much respect she had earned throughout the tournament. The following day, on July 7th, Eala posted a simple one-word caption on Instagram: "Everything." It perfectly summed up an unforgettable Wimbledon campaign. But there was no time to dwell on the emotions. By Wednesday, she had already arrived in Washington, D.C., ready for another major test. The field awaiting her doesn't feel like a typical WTA 500 tournament, it looks more like a WTA 1000 event with a different label. According to the WTA's July 3rd player entry list, 7 of the world's top 20 players are expected to compete. Among them is Elena Svitolina, the same player Eala defeated convincingly in Berlin just 3 weeks ago, a result that could add extra motivation if they meet again. Also in the draw are Marta Kostyuk, a former DC finalist, Naomi Osaka, the 2-time US Open champion continuing her comeback, Venus Williams, still one of the sport's biggest attractions, and defending champion Leylah Fernandez, who lifted this very trophy in 2025. Then there is the question of timing. 12 months ago, Eala's summer schedule caught up with her as the physical demands of back-to-back tournaments began to take their toll heading into Cincinnati. The tennis world remembers how difficult that stretch became, making this latest turnaround from Wimbledon to Washington another fascinating test of her endurance, recovery, and growing maturity on the WTA Tour. The tennis world is quietly asking one question: can a 21-year-old peak on grass and then peak again on North American hard courts just 3 weeks later? History would suggest the answer is no. But throughout 2026, Alex Eala has made a habit of rewriting what history says is possible. Start with the stakes. The Washington, D.C. tournament features a prize pool of more than $1 million, with the total tournament commitment exceeding $1.6 million. For a player who was ranked outside the world's top 140 only a year ago, this isn't just another payday, it's a career-defining opportunity. And she didn't slip into the draw through a shortcut. She earned every bit of it. The WTA confirmed Eala as one of the direct main draw entrants for the DC Open. There was no wild card, no special invitation, and no handout. Her world ranking, boosted by a breakthrough season and a historic Wimbledon run, secured her place among the tournament's elite. While some early reports suggested she had received a wild card, the WTA's official entry list made it clear: Alex Eala earned her spot. Now consider how she got here. Take a deep breath and look at what she accomplished in June alone. On June 17th in Berlin, Eala stunned former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina with a straight sets victory. 1 day later, she returned to the court and defeated Elena Svitolina, a Grand Slam champion and multiple-time major semi-finalist. Back-to-back wins over 2 of the biggest names in women's tennis, both on grass and on their preferred surface, announced to the tennis world that Alex Eala was no longer an underdog. She was becoming a genuine contender. Then came July 4th at Wimbledon. In the round of 32, Alex Eala stood across the net from defending champion Iga Swiatek. What followed was the biggest victory of her career. Eala prevailed in straight sets, 7-6, 6-2, earning her second career win over Swiatek. You do not defeat a defending champion at Wimbledon by accident. You do it because you belong on that stage. After the match, Eala walked to the microphone and delivered a message that quickly spread across Filipino social media. Asterisk, the court is not the place to belittle yourself. Asterisk, that wasn't just another post-match quote. It reflected the mindset she and her coaching team have been building for months. A complete shift toward believing she belongs among the very best in the world. Look at the pattern that has followed her throughout 2026. There was the viral airport welcome after Madrid, another emotional reception following Paris, and the scenes from Bad Homburg that spread across Filipino social media as supporters continued to rally behind her. By the time Wimbledon arrived, the momentum had become impossible to ignore. International media even highlighted the remarkable presence of Filipino fans throughout the tournament, turning nearly every Eala match into a home atmosphere despite being thousands of miles from the Philippines. Now the tour moves to Washington, D.C. And this isn't an exception to that trend, it's the next chapter. The DMV region is home to one of the largest Filipino-American communities in the United States, making the DC Open another opportunity for Eala to receive overwhelming support from the stands. If her recent tournaments are any indication, the fences outside the William H.G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center will once again be lined with fans eager to catch a glimpse of the rising star. For every Filipino who spent the past 2 years telling friends and coworkers to remember the name Alex Eala, that moment has arrived. The world isn't catching up anymore. The world is already here. There is a reason all of this seems to be happening at once, and that reason begins with one name: Tony Nadal. Best known as the longtime coach of Rafael Nadal, Tony helped shape one of the greatest careers in tennis history and built the foundation for a player who went on to win 22 Grand Slam singles titles. Today, he serves as a leading figure at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, where Alex Eala has trained since she was 13 years old. In 2026, according to reports from Tennis 365 and comments from head coach Joan Bosch, Tony has taken a far more hands-on role in Eala's development, mentoring her personally as she continues her rise on the WTA tour. Eala herself has spoken openly about the impact of that relationship. In an interview with Tennis 365 earlier this year, she explained that Tony told her things she didn't always want to hear, but needed to hear. She also revealed that he has repeatedly expressed confidence in both her game and her personality, believing she has the potential to compete at the highest level. Those aren't empty compliments from a tennis legend offering encouragement in passing. They reflect a respected coach investing his time and experience in a player he believes can achieve something special. Reports have also suggested that Rafael Nadal has shared tactical advice with Eala through her coaching team, adding yet another layer of support as she continues her development on the professional tour. When respected figures in tennis invest their time and belief in a young player, expectations naturally rise. Washington now becomes the first hard-court test of everything Alex Eala has built throughout an unforgettable 2026 season. And this tournament is only the beginning. Waiting just beyond it are the National Bank Open in Montreal, the Cincinnati Open, and then the US Open in New York beginning in late August. This isn't simply one event on the calendar. It is the opening stretch of a crucial North American hardcourt swing that could propel Eala to new career milestones. A strong run over the next several weeks could bring her even closer to breaking into the WTA's top 20, a historic achievement for Philippine tennis. There is also another reason Washington feels like the perfect place to begin that journey. The city is home to a vibrant Filipino-American community, and the tournament offers another opportunity for Eala to compete in front of passionate supporters far from home. Every practice session, every match, and every appearance will carry added significance as fans rally behind one of the brightest young stars in the sport. At just 21 years old, Eala is no longer representing only herself. She is carrying the hopes of a new generation of Filipino tennis fans while helping introduce the sport to a growing audience across Southeast Asia. As women's tennis continues expanding its global reach, Alex Eala is becoming one of the faces driving that momentum. The WTA Tour continues to grow, with tournament prize money increasing across many events in recent years as the sport attracts larger audiences and greater commercial interest. The DC Open is part of that momentum, offering players another major opportunity to compete for significant ranking points and prize money. Rising stars like Alex Eala are helping expand women's tennis into new markets, bringing fresh audiences to the sport and creating excitement wherever they compete. Every packed practice court, every line of fans waiting outside the venue, and every Philippine flag waving in the stands reflects the growing reach of her journey. The stakes in Washington are enormous. A deep run could move Eala even higher in the WTA rankings before the North American hardcourt swing continues in Montreal, while a title would represent the biggest championship of her career to date and further establish her among the sport's rising stars. But there is one reason this story isn't being written as a coronation. Her most recent match ended in heartbreak. On center court at Wimbledon, against Jasmine Paolini, Eala battled through 3 demanding sets on the biggest stage of her career. She showed the fearless tennis that had carried her through a historic run, but in the end, she came up just short. For many young players, a defeat like that can linger for days or even weeks. Some step away from the tour to regroup. Others struggle to regain momentum. Alex Eala chose a different response. Shortly after Wimbledon, she shared a simple message on social media. Everything. Salamat, Wimbledon. Thank you for everything. ***, there was no frustration, no excuses, and no self-pity, just gratitude, perspective, and a clear sign that she was already looking ahead to the next challenge. Washington is not the end of her story. It is the beginning of the next chapter. Less than 48 hours after the emotional end of her Wimbledon campaign, Alex Eala was already on a flight to Washington, D.C. There was no extended break, no time to dwell on what might have been, and no lengthy explanation about her mindset. She had already made her statement, not through words, but through action. The disappointment of leaving center court was quickly replaced by the determination to prepare for the next opportunity. For a player still only 21 years old, that kind of resilience says more than any press conference ever could. Take a step back and look at everything that has happened over the last month. In Berlin, Eala delivered one of the most memorable performances of her career, defeating Elena Rybakina in straight sets before returning the very next day to beat Alina Svitolina, another established star of the WTA Tour. Those victories were not lucky breaks or one-off upsets. They showed that she could compete with and defeat some of the biggest names in women's tennis under pressure. The wins immediately changed the way players, coaches, and fans viewed her. She was no longer just a promising prospect. She was becoming a legitimate threat every time she stepped onto the court. Then came Wimbledon, where her confidence continued to grow. Match after match, she showed remarkable composure on the biggest stage in tennis, earning the respect of crowds, commentators, and fellow professionals. One of the most emotional moments came after her victory in Berlin, when she shared a heartfelt phone call with her father, a moment she didn't try to hide because it reflected just how much the journey meant to her and her family. At Wimbledon, she walked off center court to a standing ovation, receiving recognition not just for the results she achieved but for the fearless brand of tennis she displayed throughout the tournament. It was the kind of applause reserved for players who leave everything on the court. When the tournament ended, she didn't post a long emotional message. Instead, she shared one simple word on social media: everything. ***, it was followed by a heartfelt thank you to Wimbledon, a message that resonated with fans who had followed every point of her remarkable run. Sometimes a single word can express more than 1,000, and for many supporters, that post perfectly captured her gratitude, humility, and determination to keep moving forward. Now the scene shifts to Washington, D.C., where another major challenge awaits. She enters one of the deepest WTA 500 fields of the season not as a wild card, not through a special invitation, and not because of anyone's generosity. She earned her place through her ranking and her performances on the court. Every match she won, every ranking point she collected, and every breakthrough she achieved brought her to this moment. That may be the biggest difference between the Alex Eala arriving in Washington today and the young player who arrived in Miami as a qualifier 18 months ago. Back then, she was trying to prove she belonged on the WTA tour. Today, she arrives with victories over elite opponents, a historic Grand Slam run behind her, growing confidence in her game, and the belief that she can challenge anyone in the draw. Expectations have changed. Opponents now prepare for her differently. Fans expect her to compete deep into tournaments. The tennis world is no longer asking who Alex Eala is, it is asking how far she can go. Washington is more than just another stop on the calendar. It is the beginning of the North American hardcourt swing, a stretch that could shape the rest of her season and determine just how high she can climb before the year's biggest tournaments. For Alex Eala, this isn't simply about recovering from Wimbledon. It's about building on everything she has accomplished and proving that her breakthrough was only the beginning. The next chapter starts now, and once again, the tennis world will be watching. Alex Eala now arrives at one of the most important stretches of her career, carrying far greater expectations than ever before. She is a player who has earned the confidence of one of tennis's most respected coaching minds, Tony Nadal. She is a player who has proven she can challenge and defeat some of the biggest names in the sport on the game's grandest stages. And she is a player whose rise has inspired thousands of Filipino fans around the world, many of whom have been waiting for the opportunity to watch her compete in Washington, D.C., during this exciting North American swing. But now comes the question everyone is asking. Can she carry the momentum of her historic grass court season onto the hard courts? Will she continue her remarkable rise with another deep run in Washington, or will the physical and emotional toll of Wimbledon finally catch up with her against one of the tournament's top seeds? That is the challenge that makes this week so fascinating. Every match, every point, and every decision could shape the next chapter of her season. Now it's your turn. What do you think will happen in Washington? Does Alex Eala have what it takes to reach the semifinals, or perhaps even go all the way? Or do you think the quick turnaround from Wimbledon will make this one of her toughest tests yet? Drop your prediction in the comments below, and let us know which first-round draw you'd like to see for her.